Jai Śrī Kṛṣṇa. In Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Śrī Nārada instruction on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam for Vyāsadeva Goswami. Here in the verse 32, Śrī Nārada Muni said to Vyāsadeva Goswami that, O Brāhmaṇa Vyāsadeva, it is decided by the learned or the person that the best remedial measure for removing all troubles and misery is to dedicated one activity to the service of the Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here it is mentioned, etat saṁsūcitam brahmaṇams tāpa-traya-cikitsitam yad bhagavati karma brahmaṇi bhāvitam. It means, yeah, the purport is Śrī Nārada Muni personally experienced that the most feasible and practical way to open the path of salvation or get relief from all the misery of life is to hear submissively the transcendental activities of the Lord from the right and bona fide source. This is the only remedial process. The entire material existence is full of misery. Foolish people have manufactured out of their tiny brains many remedial measures for removing the threefold misery pretending to the body and mind, pretending to the natural disturbance and in the relations with other living beings. The whole world is struggling very hard to exist out of this misery, but men do not know that without the sanction of the Lord, no plan or no remedy measure can actually bring about the desired peace and tranquility. The remedial measure to cure a patient by medical treatment is useless if it is not sanctioned by the Lord. To cross the river or the ocean by a suitable boat is no remedial measure if it is not sanctioned by the Lord. We should know for certain and that the Lord is the ultimate sanctioning officer, and we must therefore dedicate our attempts to the mercy of the Lord for ultimate success or to get rid of the obstacle on the path of success. The Lord is all-pervading, all-powerful, omniscient, and omnipresent. He is the ultimate sanctioning agent of all good or bad effect. We should therefore learn to dedicate our activity unto the mercy of the Lord and accept Him either as impersonal Brahma, localized Paramatma, or Supreme Personality of Godhead. It does not matter what one is. One must dedicate everything in the service of the Lord. If one is learned scholar, scientist, philosopher, poet, etc., then he should employ his learning to establish the supremacy of the Lord. Try to study the energy of the Lord in every sphere of life. Do not decry him and try to become like him or take his position simply by fragmental accumulation of knowledge. If one is an administrator, statesman, warrior, politician, etc., then one should try to establish the Lord supremacy in statesmanship. Fight for the cause of the Lord as Śrī Arjuna did. In the beginning, Śrī Arjuna, the great fighter, declined to fight, but when he was convinced by Lord that the fighting was necessary, Śrī Arjuna changed his decision and fought for his cause. Similarly, if one is a businessman, an industrialist, or an agriculturalist, etc., then one should spend his hard-earned money for the cause of the Lord. Think always that the money which is accumulated is the wealth of the Lord. Wealth is considered to be the goodness of fortune, Lakshmi, and the Lord is Nārāyaṇa, or the husband of Lakshmi. Try to engage Lakshmi in the service of the Lord Nārāyaṇa and be happy. That is the way to realize the Lord in every sphere of life. The best thing is, after all, to get relief from all the material activities and engage oneself completely in hearing the transcendental pastime of the Lord. But in case of absence such an opportunity, one should try to engage in the service of the Lord everything for which one has specific attraction, and that is the way of peace and prosperity. The word saṁsūcitam in this stanza is also significant. One should not think for a moment that the realization of Narada was a childish imagination only. It is not like that. It is so realized by the expert and erudite scholar, and that is the real import of the word saṁsūcitam. So here it is clearly mentioned that mentioned by Śrī Nārada Muni that if your work is completely um, you your work is completely give surrender to the Supreme Personality, lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whatever the thing, he will definitely remove all your troubles and misery. If one is simply dedicated his activity or the service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, that uh, here in this verse was mentioned by Sri Narada Muni. Jai Jagannath, Jai Shri Krishna.